Okay, YouTubers, so today we're going to do a review of something that's been really important to me for quite a long time actually. It's my Microsoft Wireless Desktop 2000, a keyboard and mouse combo, which I bought from Staples, which is a British kind of convenience store with all these things in, for £40 about 2 years ago, and I felt that it's time to make a review on it. So anyway, let's get started. Firstly, we'll talk about the things I like about it. It's black, basically, as is my monitor, and all the other cool stuff I have is black because it's a slick colour and it looks cool. This top bit here, as you can see, is very glossy. You can see the reflection of my ceiling in it. It's really glossy, really nice. And the mouse as well has this kind of these gloss accents around it, which make it look really smooth, and they also feel good too. One thing I will say about this is that it is very, very solid, very strong. I mean, you can hear it's not built horrible. The plastic is great quality. Same with the mouse. The plastic on the top of the mouse is a bit scratchy, horrible, but it's solid, and that's the main thing. That's really good. I really like that. Also, it's proven to hold up to my common withstood control combination, even though you can see the paint on the A and the S key is wearing off. That's not a problem, it's just use. I also worn the spacebar smooth in this patch here, where I control like that and always hit the spacebar in the same place. So if you're going to be doing that, that could become a problem for you at some point. But I use the keys at the top, the kind of the macros, if you like, regularly. Like, these are all sound functions. They actually work straight off the bat. You don't need to adjust anything or install anything. You literally plug the dongle in and it'll work. I have the dongle. I'm going to show it to you in a sec. There you go. That's what the dongle looks like. Pretty smooth. Just basically says Microsoft 2.4 GHz transceiver. My computer picking up this, not in. But yeah, this is very cool. Another cool thing about this as well is that if you are, per se, traveling, there are places in the Desktop 2000 itself where you can hide the dongle for safekeeping, which is awesome. I think that's an awesome design feature. While we're here, you can see it runs off of the keyboard runs off of two AA or AAA, beg my pardon, batteries, and the mouse runs off of two AA's, although strangely the light will remain on even if you only have one battery installed. And that's one thing I will say about this as well. It's very, very economic. The batteries take absolutely ages to die. Just give that a wipe over there. Yeah. So I like that about it, the fact that you don't have to spend loads of money on batteries, because batteries are ever getting expensive. So that's going to be one of the things that people are most worried about these days. Another thing I'll say about it, and this little logo here proves it, it's they've marketed it as this sort of weird blue track technology, which there's just a blue LED in there, and apparently it works on any surface. But I have noticed some problems with getting the mouse to track correctly on my pitted desk surface, because I've used a mouse without a mouse mat for so long. My desk surface has become pitted, and the mouse doesn't track properly. It moves fine and it feels fine, but on the screen it doesn't pick up the movements as accurately as it should. That's why I've got a mouse mat. So if that's going to be a problem for you, again, that's something you should consider before you buy this. The little pads on the bottom of the mouse here are really, really good. They are very low resistance, so it's easy to get a lot of movement very quickly. I think it has a 2000 DPI sensor. I'm not sure. But it's not really that amazing. Like, for gaming it works fine for me. I don't find any problems with it, but if you're very serious, it might not be the correct mouse and keyboard combo for you. It does have a switch on the bottom here, again, for travelling, so you can turn it off and save batteries, even though it turns off after a few seconds of not being removed. Also has an LED at the top here to indicate that the batteries are okay. The keyboard has an LED in there, and which will flash red when the batteries are low, which happens, as I said, very few and far between battery changes. But all these keys are pre-programmed, and you don't have to worry about anything. There's a dedicated Windows button here, which is nice, which is becoming a thing that you don't see on keyboards very much, very often. Having trouble speaking today, apparently. There's a nice palm rest, which is quilted, which again they market heavily, which is really, I like this a lot. I mean, the plastic feels great quality, and I don't get tired playing games for hours on end. Like Portal 2, I spent 9.5 hours playing solidly through, and that was all with this keyboard and mouse combo, and I didn't feel any strain at all. All I will say is that with the mouse, you can put, in the shape it is, a lot of strain on this part of your hand here. You can see the red part, where you go like that and you kind of move it like that. You can feel a lot of strain in your wrist there. So this mouse shape might not be the correct mouse shape for you. It is a big mouse. I've got fairly big hands. I don't really have anything to compare it to be honest. Here's a CD. Here's a CD, and it's a really big mouse. So if you've got little hands, it might not suit you, as well as it, for example, suits me with my big hands. It's got like a texturized paint on the side, like that soft grip finish that HTC uses on their phones, which is a really nice addition because you feel like you have full control when you have the mouse in your hand here. This at the top is nice and smooth, so it's comfortable in your hand. It's just a general nice position to be in. The scroll wheel, this is one of the kind of, not issues with it, but it's only a little tiny gripe. The scroll wheel has no scroll lock. So whereas the Logitech gaming mice have a button which you can select lock on and lock off, this has no lock. So if you're going to be scrolling a lot and you want the bump which tells you that you've selected the correct weapon in a game, for example, then this is not going to be good for you. If I had known this, I wouldn't have bought this combo. Even though it does look awesome and work well, I wouldn't have bought it purely for the fact that it does not have a scroll lock on the wheel. So that's my probably only bugbear with this. I've torture tested this thing over the years. I've dropped it many times, keyboard and mouse. I've travelled around with them. I emptied once by accident a pint glass of water over the keyboard. I just took the batteries out, dried it out, and it was fine. I'm not sure what sort of switches it has. I think they're rubber dome, so they're not going to be amazing or to everybody's taste. Like especially if you're a gamer and you really care about that. All these switches at the top are rubber activated. You can hear they're not making so much noise, but all of these are actual keys, which is nice, and it sounds like a mechanical keyboard should sound. I think it's a mechanical keyboard, but again I'm not sure because Microsoft doesn't tell you this. Another thing they kind of stress is that it has 128-bit encryption, whatever that means. By basically that means that if you're typing important stuff because you're a government agent or Jason Bourne or whoever, then you're not going to get hacked because your keyboard has got that extra level of encryption. So that's good, I guess, from where I'm playing with WS and A&D, because you know they're really going to take that information. So that's a pointless feature for me. Excuse me. But one thing I will say about it before we end this review. Very comfortable, very good value for money. I paid £40, but I know you can get them for 30 and even 20 if you look in the correct place. So that'll probably be about $60 to $80 for you guys in the US. All the keys work out the box. The dongle's nice, fits in everything. 2.4 gigahertz, so no interference with anything. I've never had a problem with it at all. Yeah, no scroll lock on that. Lots of Microsoft branding everywhere. Apart from that, it's an amazing keyboard and I really enjoy it. So thank you for watching this review, guys. I know it's been a long one, so thanks if you stuck through it. For more reviews and other interesting vids, subscribe to wildfirebend.bt. See you later, guys. Take it easy.